What is up, boyos? It is Water Buffalo Man here, back for more Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle. Alright, so we got ourselves another how-to build, and it is on the Instinctive Destruction. Instinctive, not indistinctive. Where did I get the letter D? Instinctive Destruction, Legendary Super Saiyan Broly. He, post-EZA, becomes Leader Skill, Planetary Destruction, or Movie Bosses Key 3 170, and his Super Attack, Gigantic Meteor, Extreme, greatly raises attack and raises defense for infinite turns, so 99 turns, and causes immense damage to enemy. They both stack that way. So the greatly raising attack is 50% infinitely, and the greatly raises, or the raises defense is only 20% infinitely, for not necessarily infinitely, but 99 turns. You're not going to last 99 turns in a fight, so technically infinitely. So he's getting his EZA tonight. Within actually 12 hours of me recording this, he will be getting that EZA. It will be dropping. It'll be another 30-stage event, same as normal TOR EZAs. There's 30 different stages you got to go through, and we're just gonna generally. I might not do a stage 30 EZA on this guy because I really noticed they don't do too well generally. Not many people watch them, but passive skill for this man is Fiendish Destruction, Key 3, attack and defense of 260 at start of turn. Reduces damage received by 26% and has a chance of performing a critical hit by 26% all the time. So he has a 26% chance of damage reduction, let me rephrase that. He has 26% damage reduction and 26% chance to hit a crit every turn. Launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack, so 50% chance to launch a super, plus an additional attack and defense of 26% when attacking. That's for that one turn, so when he launches that initial attack, that 26% stacks into everything he has already up to that point. Plus an additional Key 3 and launches an additional attack that has a 70% chance, so great chance, of becoming a super attack. So that's pretty good too, so we can get at least 2 supers there. Plus an additional damage reduction of 18% and chance of performing a crit, plus an additional 18% when attacking if there's a Pure Saiyans, Hybrid Saiyans, or Movie Heroes category enemy. So that'll stack his crit chance up to 44, his damage reduction up to 44. He launches an additional super attack, plus an additional damage reduction of 15%, and chance of performing a critical hit plus 15% when attacking if there's an enemy whose name includes Goku. So after everything is said and done, he gets 44% crit plus that 15, so it puts him at 59% chance to crit, plus an additional, 26 plus 18 is what? 44 I said? Plus additional 15, so he gets up to 59% damage reduction as well when facing a Goku, which generally in this case will be a Movie Heroes enemy, more than likely, because actually it'll activate the Pure Saiyans for the Goku, so yeah, you'll fit all of that in there anyway. So his max he can have is 59% crit and 59% damage reduction at his most maximum. And since he is a stacking unit, he will be building his attack really, really quickly, being that it's a 50% raise, and his defense will be building at a moderate pace, being a 20% raise. So he also has a active skill, the Berserker's Destructive Impulse, which gives him Key 6 and attack of 60% and attacks effective against all types for 1 turn after he performs 4 more super attacks in battle. So only time he can activate it. His categories are pretty good, and post-EZA, this is the first time I'm actually covering this, his post-EZA stats look really, really good. Like, this is what mine's sitting at right now. This is what the post-EZA stats are going to look like. He's almost going to be sitting at about 21,000 attack stat and just like over 13,000 defense, which is pretty good. And he links pretty well with this new Broly. Shares 5 out of 7 links, which is kind of nice. Alright, so how we build this man. This is a kind of funny build for this guy, honestly. So how I went with this man, seeing as he's a INT type unit and he does not have any dodge built in his passive. He has crit and additionals in his passive. So I went completely dodge on this man. Top left corner, we're going to start, he has that built-in 5 for dodge. And then I gave him 2 out of the 3 slots with dodge as well, because that's all I could do. So that puts him as 11 dodge, 3 additional on the top left path. Bottom right, I gave him 3 more additional, so that puts him at 6 additional. And I gave him 9 dodge on the bottom right. So that puts him at 9 plus the down on the bottom, plus the 11 up top. Gives him 6 additional, 20 dodge off the base system with no crit put in at all. Which generally you would think that would be kind of high, not giving him any dodge or any crits at all, but because of the fact that he's got a 1 in 4 chance naturally to do a crit the way his passive is set up, you don't really need it. And he has a high chance of launching an additional super attack automatically, you really don't need it, and he's got that guaranteed additional, you really don't need it. So you could try to avoid those two more or less, and with us giving him that 6%, or the level 6 additional, gives him a 12% chance of launching an additional attack anyway, which has a 50% chance of being a super anyway. So, like I said, we went 6 additional and 20 into dodge. So that's pretty solid, honestly. That's a really solid unit that gives him 20% chance to dodge supers right off the rip. And a really solid additional. How I built mine in the skill orbs, because I don't have the greatest skill orbs yet. Again, I still do not. I've been trying to get skill orbs by running that mission with the Whis on it, but I can't get it. I gave him an additional only for the skill orb for the bronze. I would love to go additional dodge, but I can't. I gave him additional only. And for my silver, I didn't have a really good additional dodge, but I would have went additional dodge in slot 2, so I just gave him a straight dodge at level 5. And then for the gold slot, I went a little bit weird critical dodge, but I went a critical 2, dodge 4. So crit dodge would work. So generally across the board, you want to do additional dodge like usual, or just straight dodge for any of them, and then crit dodge for his final one, if available. So mine right now, after everything is said and done, full system put in, is sitting at 8 additional, 2 critical, and 29 into dodge, which is absolutely nuts. I'm really digging the 29 dodge with this man. I feel like that's going to be the absolute best case scenario you can go for him, especially being that he's going to be a slot 2 unit exclusively and has that chance to build up over time. I feel like that's going to really benefit him in the long run, is having that higher chance to dodge gives him that more longevity in the fight. So it gives him, early on in the fight, he can dodge maybe a super attack or dodge a couple of attacks that would hit him, that would probably wipe him out early on. It gives him that time to build it up. But there you guys have it. Like I said, I went 8 for additional, 2 for crit, 29 for dodge, but overall, as his base stats without any skill orbs, we went 6 additional and 20 dodge. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.